Have you ever wondered what it would be like to fall down a rabbit hole and land in a world where logic has no meaning? Today, we re-diving deep into one of the most beloved and bizarre tales ever told, Alice in Wonderland. Written by the brilliant Lewis Carroll in 1865. This isn't just a children's story. It's a masterpiece of fantasy that follows a young girl, is extraordinaire, adventure into a whimsical and utterly unpredictable world. For over 150 years, the story has captivated generations by perfectly blending wild imagination, pure wonder, and profound moral lessons. It's a journey that challenges reality and celebrates the power of curiosity. So, pour yourself a cup of tea juiced. Be careful it doesn't make you shrink, and let us explore the magical, mad world of Wonderland together. Before we tumble down the rabbit hole with Alice, let's meet the unforgettable cast of characters who make Wonderland so wonderfully strange. First, there's Alice herself. She's not just a lost little girl. She's curious, brave, and the very embodiment of imagination and personal growth. Her journey is our journey, as she questions everything she thought she knew. Then, we have the White Rabbit. Always anxious, always late, he's the one who kicks off the whole adventure. With his pocket watch and frantic cries of, "I'm late," he lures Alice away from her boring reality and into the chaos of Wonderland. Of course, who could forget the Cheshire Cat, with his mysterious, unnerving grin that lingers long after he's vanished. He offers Alice's advice that is both confusing and surprisingly wise. He represents the absurdity and riddles of this strange new land. Next up are the hosts of the most famous tea party in literature, the Mad Hatter and the March Hare. These eccentric, hilarious characters are trapped in a perpetual tea time, celebrating unbirthdays and speaking in nonsensical riddles. They show Alice that sometimes a little bit of madness is perfectly normal. And finally, ruling over Wonderland with an iron fist and a very short temper, is the Queen of Hearts, famous for her terrifying catchphrase, "Off with their heads." She is the ultimate symbol of irrational and tyrannical authority, a formidable obstacle that Alice must confront. Each of these characters plays a crucial role in Alice's journey, pushing her, confusing her, and ultimately helping her discover who she truly is. So, how does this incredible journey begin? It all starts on a lazy, golden afternoon. Alice is sitting by a riverbank with her sister, feeling drowsy and bored. Suddenly, a peculiar sight catches her eye. A white rabbit, dressed in a waistcoat and muttering to himself while checking a pocket watch. Most people might just blink and dismiss it, but not Alice. Fueled by an insatiable curiosity, she decides to follow him. She chases the rabbit across a field and watches as he pops down a large rabbit hole under a hedge. Without a moment's hesitation, Alice jumps in right after him, and that's when her ordinary world disappears. She finds herself falling, slowly, down a long, strange tunnel lined with cupboards and bookshelves. It's a gentle descent into madness, a transition from the logical world she knows to a place where nothing makes sense. When she finally lands, she finds herself in a hall of locked doors. This is her official entry into Wonderland, a realm where every corner holds a new surprise, and the rules of reality simply don't apply. Her journey from this point forward is as thrilling as it is challenging, a true test of her wit and spirit. Once Alice lands in Wonderland, her adventure truly begins, and it's a whirlwind of bizarre and magical encounters. The world she has entered is a place of constant transformation, where nothing stays the same for long. Almost immediately, she faces a series of perplexing challenges. She finds a tiny bottle labeled "Drink Me," and a sip makes her shrink small enough to fit through a tiny door. But then, she eats a cake marked "Eat Me" and grows so tall, her head hits the ceiling. This constant changing of size is just the first taste of the delightful chaos that awaits her. As she navigates this strange new world, she meets a host of talking animals and magical creatures. There's a dodo bird organizing a nonsensical race where everyone wins, a caterpillar smoking a hookah, who cryptically asks, "Who are you?" And of course, the ever-grinning Cheshire Cat, who appears and disappears at will. Each conversation is a riddle, a puzzle that challenges Alice's understanding of identity and logic. She stumbles upon the Mad Hatter's tea party, an endless loop of absurdity where it's always 6 o'clock. She plays a bizarre game of croquet with the Queen of Hearts, using live flamingos as mallets and hedgehogs as balls. Each of these encounters is a test, not just of her cleverness, but of her courage and her ability to adapt to the unexpected. Through these fantastic and often frustrating challenges, Alice begins a journey of self-discovery, learning more about herself with every peculiar step she takes. Beyond the talking rabbits and mad tea parties, Alice in Wonderland is rich with deep themes and moral lessons that resonate just as strongly today. One of the most prominent themes is the power of imagination and curiosity. Alice's entire adventure is sparked by her willingness to follow her curiosity without fear. The story encourages us to embrace the unknown, to ask questions, and to find wonder in the world around us, even when it doesn't make sense. It's a powerful reminder that a curious mind is a key to discovery. Another central theme is the journey of finding one's identity. Throughout the story, characters repeatedly ask Alice, "Who are you?" At first, she's confident in her answer, but as Wonderland continually challenges her perceptions, she begins to question her own identity. Her journey is a metaphor for growing up, for learning to define yourself in a world that is constantly changing. Courage and adaptability are also at the heart of Alice's character. She is thrown into a world where nothing is predictable, yet she faces every challenge with remarkable bravery. Whether she's standing up to the fearsome Queen of Hearts or navigating a confusing conversation, Alice learns to think on her feet and adapt to her Finally, the story is a brilliant satire on authority and conformity. Alice consistently questions the nonsensical rules and arbitrary orders of Wonderland's inhabitants, especially the Queen. She dares to think for herself and challenge the status quo, teaching us the importance of critical thinking and standing up for what is right. Even when faced with absurd power, it's these timeless lessons that make Alice's journey so much more than a simple fantasy. The influence of Alice in Wonderland extends far beyond the pages of the original book. Its cultural significance is immense, and its legacy can be seen everywhere in film, art, and literature. From the moment it was published, the story captured the public's imagination, leading to countless adaptations. One of the most famous is Disney's 1951 animated classic, which brought the whimsical world and its colorful characters to life for millions. Its vibrant animation and memorable songs cemented characters like the Mad Hatter and the Cheshire Cat as pop culture icons. More recently, Tim Burton's live-action films offered a darker, more visually spectacular take on the tale, proving its story can be reimagined for new generations. But it's not just in film. Wonderland has inspired stage plays, ballets, video games, and even theme park rides. The story's surreal imagery and philosophical undertones have made it a favorite subject for artists and musicians, influencing everything from psychedelic rock in the 60s to modern fashion and design. The phrases and characters from the book have become part of our everyday language. When we talk about falling down the rabbit hole, we're referencing Alice's journey into the unknown. When we describe a confusing situation as being curiouser and curiouser, we are borrowing Alice's own words. Characters like the perpetually late White Rabbit and the tyrannical Queen of Hearts remain universally recognized symbols. The story's enduring appeal lies in its ability to be endlessly reinterpreted, ensuring that Wonderland remains a source of inspiration and fascination worldwide. So, as we emerge from the rabbit hole and back into our own world, what have we learned from Alice's incredible journey? Alice in Wonderland is so much more than just a charming children's story. It is a profound and timeless celebration of imagination, the courage to be different, and the challenging but rewarding path of self-discovery. Alice teaches us that curiosity is not a flaw, but a gift. It's the engine of adventure, and the first step toward understanding ourselves and the world. Her journey reminds us that life is often unpredictable and confusing, but with bravery and an open mind, we can navigate even the strangest of circumstances. She shows us that it's okay to question the rules, to challenge authority, and to forge our own path, even if it seems a little mad to others. The magical adventures and philosophical riddles of Wonderland continue to inspire readers and viewers of all ages to dream bigger, to think more freely, and to embrace the wonderful absurdity of life. It's a story that tells us that sometimes the most logical thing you can do is to believe in the impossible. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip through Wonderland. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And do you and forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do miss our next adventure. Let me know in the comments which Alice in Wonderland character is your favorite. Until next time, stay curious.